What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Golden 83, and I am here to do a tap into your soul reading for the sign of Leo. Okay, Leo, you guys are last but not least this week on the zodiac lineup. All right, hopefully you guys are doing well. Remember, you guys, these are general messages, not personal. So take what resonates and pass the rest to the next. Okay, so a few quick tidbits. Okay, there is no energy shout out this week. Okay, everyone majorly has one. However, it's also a situation where the energy is not at its best, so we will skip this week. Okay, I will be off after today. I'll be back on August 2nd to help clear the energy out, okay, for the collective, plus my energy as well. I need a little bit of break. If you're not familiar with my schedule on my channel here, I do 3 weeks where I do 4 signs for 3 weeks. After those 3 weeks, I am off, okay? So if there's 1 week left within the month, I take off that week. If it's 2 weeks left, I take 2 weeks, okay? So that's how my schedule goes, all right? I think that is about it. If you guys need help with as far as clearing your energy or maybe some extra possible messages, you can go to the monthly manifestations on my channel. There's a playlist for monthly manifestations. I'll be working on that soon for the month of August. I usually try to get them out before the next new moon, okay? So that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into you guys reading, okay? At this time, you can go ahead and get a piece of paper and pen if you would like to do your own interpretation. These are touch illustrations by Deborah Koff Chapman if you're interested, okay? We will look at your past, present, and future energy along with the overall outcome. You can answer the questions honestly yourself associated with each placement, and at this time you can go ahead and write what you would like your overall outcome to be depending upon your current situation, okay? So we do 1 from the top, 1 from the bottom, and then 1 energetically from the middle. Okay, and we only do 1 card at a time because it's so much energy to read if we were to flip them over all at once, okay? So we go 1 at a time. I'll hold the cards up momentarily. You can, pause the video and write out how you feel, okay? You can always let me know in the comments if you like, if my interpretation matches with yours, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Leos, the first question here with your past placement is what held you back in the past, okay? What has held you back in the past? Haven't seen this one in a while, okay? What has held you back in the past? Take the time to kind of look at this card and see how it makes you feel as you answer that question honestly, okay? No one else will know your answer except for you, okay? And me if you decide to tell me, okay? But nonetheless, okay, this is for you, all right? You're in your own safe place to be honest with yourself, okay? With this card coming up in past placement, we see this kind of growth coming from the root chakra, if you will, okay? And it's like autumn leaves, okay? Leos, you guys are like right at the beginning of the fall, being like in August, okay? And so you have all these like autumn leaves, things of that nature, okay? And there's all this purple in the back, okay? The first thing that I consider when I look at this card, the feeling that I get is what possibly held you back in the past is kind of having this regalness about you, okay, Leos? You know the saying of, you know, like the lions are the kings of the jungle, okay? All the animals respect the king of the jungle, okay? And so you guys really take that to heart, okay? With you being, your sign being a lion, okay? The representation of your sign is a lion. You have the strength card in regular tarot, okay? And so you guys do find yourselves sometimes a little bit high on your horse above other people, okay? So it could be a sense of, in the past, considering yourself to be very regal or royal above others, okay? Just based on your sign alone. Now, I ain't throwing shade at you guys at all. I'm a Taurus. I love my sign. I love being a Taurus, okay? My dad was a Taurus as well, okay? So I really vibe and love my sign, okay? And I think if I was any other sign, I would love it too, okay? I think all of us do that, okay? But particularly Leos, you guys are kind of like, in my personal opinion, okay, are a little bit up there. Most that I have met have really carried themselves in high self-confidence, okay? Sometimes it's a gift and a curse at the same time, okay? Because it can rub other people the wrong way. Now, it could rub people in the wrong way in the sense of, you know, they have insecurities about themselves, you know, and being or standing next to you guys lowers their confidence within themselves. And so, of course, Leos being the way that they are will say, well, then step your game up then, okay? And that's a fair assessment. It is. And with others, you know, people are just as confident as Leos are, but sometimes you may have a tendency of taking things a little bit too far, okay? In the sense of possibly demeaning people, in the sense of perfectionism, okay, within your characteristic of your sign, okay? And so I feel as though that is possibly what held you back in the past, is kind of being overly regal over others and possibly demeaning others in a sense for your kind of like self-entitlement in a sense, okay? So let's move on to your present placement, okay? What continues to hold you back presently? What continues to hold you back presently? So I'll hold this card here so you guys can see it, okay, Leos? You have two beings here. You have one physical being here, and then you have one over here that's more of an entity, if you will, in my opinion, okay? The color purple is still here, okay, present within this card, okay? Purple is signifying, or violet for some of you, okay, is more so in reference to your crown chakra, okay? All up in your head, okay? So, again, putting a crown upon yourself, as there's like a crown in this other one, okay? Again, repeating the past, really kind of being high on yourself, okay? Now, I know there are some that you should be high on yourself, okay? I'm all for self-care in a sense of being confident in yourself, you know, embracing your insecurities or your imperfections, okay? You could have struggled a lot in your life, and that you've overcome those challenges over time, okay? But within doing that, Leos, express that to people so people can kind of understand why you're in the position that you're in, okay? To feel high on yourself, to hold yourself in high regard. Usually, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, those that hold themselves in high regard usually have had the hardest of lives, okay? And by the time they're in this high regard status, they've forgotten where they came from. It is then suppressed, and people think that you've always been like this, okay? Where they think you've always held yourself in high regard. They think your life is perfect when you're like this. If I'm meeting you in your current status, okay, and let's say you've got the looks, you've got the money, you've got the materialistic things and all of that, and let's say I have never met you before whatsoever, okay, and I'm thinking life has just came easy to you, okay? You see me, I can have bags under my eyes, I could be, you know, decently put together, but you can tell that maybe I've been through some stuff, okay? I try not to come off that way, you know, as far as me personally, but I never, and I'm not shaming y'all when I say this, but to keep myself humble, and if I am going to be in high regard, I'm in high regard in itself of strength from knowing where I've come from, okay, and remembering that and not suppressing it, okay? So you can be high on yourself in a sense of encouraging, in sense of motivating you, okay, to be in this type of persona or representation of yourself. But at the end of the day, okay, you have to be honest with yourself and honest with other people, okay? Of course, nobody, you know, doesn't need to know your whole backstory, but the way you carry yourself is as though you're above everybody, okay? And so it's time for you to take a second look at yourself and meet your real higher self, okay, in a spiritual sense, okay? You've forgotten your past, or you've suppressed your past, okay? And there needs to be some type of spiritual ascension, okay, for you Leos, okay? To humble yourselves, to remember why you're in the position that you're in, okay? It's because of the life you've had, okay? You've had stripes. You have not had anything easy, okay? For some of you, you have. And possibly having that easy life has made you feel like you're great, okay? And there are some people that don't have any traumas, and that's great. That's cool. That's good. But don't demean other people because your life has been good, okay? That is what I'm feeling between the past and the present, okay? If you haven't had any struggles in your life, if you've never been homeless, if you've never, you know, got bad grades, if you've never, you know, been beat or abused or verbally abused, whatever the case may be, if you've never had any type of, you know, traumas, that's good for you. You know, your life was good, okay? But do not demean other people, okay, just because it was, okay? You cannot relate to other people who have had traumas. You can only motivate them, okay, to power through the traumas, okay? And so just kind of take that into consideration. And like I said, it's time for you to have a spiritual ascension in the sense of emotional intelligence, okay? Another sign got that as well. I cannot remember who it was, but that sign could possibly be in your birth chart, okay? So let's move on to the future placement here, okay? How will you change your future? how will you change your future? And we kind of touched on that within your present, okay? So let's see what card we have here, okay? So I want you to take a look at this card, and Leos, if you feel like, you can write down how you feel of what or how you will change your future, okay? What will change it, okay? We have a person standing here with a heart around themselves, okay? I feel as though how you will change your future is, yes, it is good that you pour into yourself. Again, we just touched on self-care, self-love, which is always very important, okay? But at some point in time, I want you Leos to consider whether or not, if you're able to, or if you have ever taken the time to consider pouring love into others, okay? Help others get to the type of mindset that you are in a humble way, okay? Those that struggle to be as regal and mighty and strong as you, pass that strength on to others too, okay? You've had enough of it on yourself, okay? You've given enough to yourself. You're at a good place in your life. Have you ever done any type of volunteer work? Even, it doesn't have to be actual time, hours that you log or anything like that. But it could just be as simple as listening to someone else, okay? Being that support system for someone else. I'm not talking about financially or anything like that. I'm just talking about full-on true friendship to other people, okay? Mentorship, things of that nature, okay? Where you can help people aspire to where they want to be in their lives. Those, if you have a friend that's like, oh, they're always down on themselves, or they don't feel attractive, or whatever the case may be, build them up, okay? Try and build them up. That is, volunteering, okay? Your friendship, your empathy, your sympathy to other people's situations, okay? Try not to speak on things that you do not have any kind of experience in, okay? Because sometimes when you're giving people advice, you can give them something from a negative connotation, okay? In a sense of, and that's not something that they need at that point in time. They need something that's going to motivate them, okay? And what I mean by that is, well, if it were me, I would, it's like, no, okay? Try not to come off in that sense. They could already be in a negative connotation by the time they're coming to you for the advice that they're needing, okay? And maybe it's not even advice that they need. They just need someone to listen, okay? And so you've poured into yourself quite enough, okay? Your self-love is already on an all-time high. Just try to spread that out to other people, okay? So, with that being said, let's see what your overall outcome is at the bottom of the deck, okay? We have a flame, okay, held by a man here, okay? Kind of like a guiding light, if you will, okay? And his left hand is the flame, the right hand is touching on the heart space, okay, to the left, okay, of his chest. You really pay attention to these things in these cards, okay? Their significance, in my opinion, okay? So, of course, looking your way, and I'm doing it again based off of one other reading where I did the same thing, whereas now it looks like the flame is in his right hand, yes. And then it just looks, it looks like it changed, okay? Optical illusions, if you will, okay? But bear with me, go with how it looks facing towards you, okay? Nonetheless, It is time to find that passion and that drive within you. Okay, for some of you Leos, this could be a specific set within the collective. Okay, like I said, there's some that are finding their placements in their birth charts or starting to learn about birth charts. Okay, birth chart placements. Find that drive within you, like I said, to be passionate and extend yourself to others. Okay, to be a beacon of light to others. Okay, find that symbolism. Okay, and sometimes not even symbolism. I'm hearing something in reference to find that innocence within you again. Okay, where, like I said, that one point in life where you weren't high on yourself, where you were humbled. Okay, because whenever I see this card of a humbled man, okay, and that's the one thing that I always see and feel when I look at this card is a humbled man. Okay, that's mature. Okay, that's reached a certain level in his life of wisdom. Okay, and has some force to guide him. Okay, some passion of his, an innate passion within the heart space. Okay, it could be love, it could be career, okay, it could be family, it could be friends. Whatever this light of hope is for you, somehow find that within yourself. Okay, pull that out and extend it to others. Okay, it's a flame that can never be extinguished. Okay, when it's a true passion of yours, whatever that is for you, Leos. Okay, grab it, take a hold of it, really be motivated by it to do it. Okay, whatever it is for you. I'm not pulling anything specifically. That's why I listed all those other things for you. Okay, so in this, obviously, whenever I see a new card come out that hasn't, when I've done these reads, I'm going to be calling it new energy alert. Okay, so this is new energy here. This card has only really shown up maybe once since I've been doing Tap Into Your Soul readings. Okay, same goes for this one here as well, along with this one too. Okay, this one has recently been coming out a few times, so there is some new energy here. Okay, I believe that's all that I have for you guys, Leos. Okay, again, I will be off next week. This is your last reading for the month. I will not see you guys again until the next sign pull in August. And so until then, take the time to look at your readings from this week. You have the monthly manifestations to refer to as well. It is not by sign, it is by collective. Okay, it's for the whole collective. Okay, so until your next readings, Leo, peace.